Friday, I did an interview on a radio station, and this was a panel with me and a Republican strategist. And the Republican was a smart woman who seemed pretty rational in her views. And it was the kind of conversation we used to be able to have between two people who disagreed on some policy issues, but not on some basic things about the American government. And then the question turned to the Republican nomination, who was leading the primaries, the polls, and all of that. I unfortunately did not get to weigh in on this because time was running out, but her view was, listen, this is wide open. 8 years ago, Jeb Bush at this time was leading. Donald Trump doesn't have this nailed down. And what's important there is that, first, Republicans with those views are the ones who get booked on most decent, rational media platforms because those are decent, rational people. The Trump people, the far-out MAGA people who are really bought into this kind of fascistic vision for the United States don't get booked on a lot of these networks. But they are the majority of the Republican Party. And secondly, so many in what used to be known as the Republican establishment want to believe that Donald Trump doesn't have the nomination nailed down, because to believe that is to believe the truth that their party has been captured by a fascist movement. So they keep saying this. And then the American people hear this and they say, oh, Trump doesn't have it wrapped up. We may escape this. But the truth is, Donald Trump has an enormous lead in the Republican primary. Other than a big health crisis, it would take something very extraordinary for him to lose that primary. He is very likely going to be the Republican nominee. And if he is the nominee, while Biden would be the favorite, it will be a very close race. And we all have to recognize that the possibility of Donald Trump returning as president cannot be something we dismiss just because he was indicted again, or just because we so desperately don't want it to happen.